There's a young lady that I know through a leadership thing, whatever. But one of the things she said was she chose to go into the homosexual lifestyle because her dad wasn't safe. So she always saw women as a place of safety. Like, they nurture, they care. Mm-hmm. But my dad was mean and ugly to me. He rejected me. So I went where I was accepted. There's that word from earlier, your first question. Where am I accepted and received? That's where I'll be. And so as a father, it's important for us to embrace our kids, despite what they're going through.
I'm glad you went there, because we've been speaking predominantly around the role that Fatherless and the impact it's having on young men and boys. Obviously, that's the vast majority of our audience, but it's obviously affecting the young women as well. And I'm sure if we looked at some graphs and the trajectory of these issues with women and transgenderism, obviously that's
anxiety, depression, suicide.
Yeah.
Like, all of those can be attached, or the effect of not having a father.
Yeah, it's right here. Father wound. Men and boys raised without affirmation often live in insecurity, anger, performance-driven identity issues. I mean, all the stats are here. All the mental health crisis. So, yeah, I mean, comes back to the modeling in the home.
Yeah,
right. How you love, honor your wife is going to be a direct impact on what your daughter looks for in a relationship.
Yes.
In a man. And that's also going to be the model of oftentimes how your boys, because you said it, right? Your dad was probably modeling what he saw.
He didn't know.
He probably saw womanizing in his family. So it's all really powerful, important stuff. I want to circle back to fathering. You know, you briefly touched on it, right? The role of being a dad and becoming a father, or you know, biblical fathering. You know,
right?
I think it was
Ryan. I like that term, biblical fathering.
Biblical fathering.
Good.
You can have that one.
I got it.
This is
It's mine. It's in the book. It's on the podcast. That hadn't happened yet.
We'll get to that. Maybe that's going to be linked up in this question of knowing when you're ready. You know, I had Ryan Mickler on. He's the founder of Order of Man, massive men's movement. We talked about the difference of living as a male, right? You're biologically a male, but there are things that you must do in order to be a man. Any boy past the age of puberty can birth a child. He can play his part in fathering a child. That doesn't mean that he is a biblical father, or he's not living it out. So how does a young man know when he's ready? Is it what I told you, jump out of the plane, figure it out on the way down? Maybe that's what too many young men are doing today. So how does a young man know in his life when he's ready to step into? Because there's gonna be a lot of young men right now that are, you know, building their careers, they're in their relationships, they're beginning to have the conversations. What does it look like in terms of the conversation with himself, the conversation with God? Am I ready to take on this role and responsibility? What things does he need to check off the checklist?
Right.
And what things can maybe he figure out along the way? Because I'm sure you're not gonna have all the answers at the beginning.
No. Biblical fathering. When are they ready? When they have discovered and they are being fathered by him.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean. So let's put some meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Okay. God took Adam, placed him in a garden to serve and protect it. He gave him purpose. Adam was working before Eve. He had a job. He had a responsibility, and he was caring for himself. He was walking out the purpose that God had for him. So I think the first thing that men have to do is discover who they are, where God has placed them, and what he desires for them to do. Okay? So now they're doing it. Whatever it is, they are launching a podcast, or they're doing something in the earth. They're serving God. They're plugged into the Father, and he's guiding them. He's walking with them in the cool of the day, Adam. He's hanging out with them. and they're walking together. And God all of a sudden sees them and says, man, it's not good for you to be alone. Like, you're naming all these animals, you're doing the work, and you're spending time with me. I think I ought to bring someone into your life. Mm-hmm. See that? So God brings her into his life. And those two become the representation of what God desires to create in the earth. So Eve's purpose was to come alongside Adam and continue the work that God had for them to do. It wasn't it wasn't combative, right? They were to walk together and continue to do what God told them to do. So for a man or a young man, that's why I say, are you serving your mom? Are you honoring your mom? Okay, now, Ralph, I've gotten out my mom's house. I've gone to college. I'm debt free. I'm managing my money well. I'm investing. I'm building my home. I'm building my career. I'm walking with God. I'm doing the things that I'm called to do. I'm not getting stuck in porn and smoking weed and hanging out. So, because the definition of manhood is so, and you asked a profound question, like, when do I become a man? Every culture has that. Mm-hmm. Even animals have it. Yeah. Right? So is it when I smoke weed for the first time? Is it when I have my first beer? Is it when I have sex for the first time? When do I become a man? And I believe, for the sake of time, we can't really peel this back, is when you realize you're father. Mm. When you become a son. When Jesus came out the water, God said, "This is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased." And Jesus took off and walked it out. That's when you're ready. Mm-hmm. And he walked in his purpose daily.
How much of that lack of initiation, right? Because you said it, animals have it, even girls to women. There's a natural initiation that happens within their body, right?
Yeah.
For the longest time, every society, every culture had something. Mm-hmm. They would take a boy into the woods. You had to, fight a lion and come back with his, mane around your head.
Bite a snake head off.
You had to do something, right? Our culture has stripped that away. And now you have grown men that are living as boys.
Right.
Addicted to video games, addicted to porn. Yeah. I don't know what percentage. I think 30% of men under the age of 30 still live at home. Like, it's a shocking statistic. Yeah, how many crazy. Men haven't left the home? So, just your thoughts and opinions. Like, is this a bigger issue than people are giving it the attention?
It's always the father issue. I had a guy reach out to me the other day. He's very successful. He's like, and he saw on my website where it said fatherless to fathered. He's like, oh yeah, I don't have that, man. I'm wealthy. Mm-hmm. I bought my mom a car, bought her house, but that's not my issue. I just need this and that. I said, so tell me about your dad. Well, my dad wasn't around, this and that. I said, it's a father issue. In my lifetime, when I look at people and the stuff they go, there are books written. So I'm trying to wrap this up, Frank. I'm really trying to drive this point home. A woman is reminded every 30 days who she is. Mm-hmm. A man very rarely is reminded. In Hebrew households, the father blesses his children every week. He grabs them and looks at them in the face and he says, I love you and I am proud of you and how you did whatever this week. The Lord bless you, son. From the time they're born. This is Shabbat, right? And so I think for us as men, I think you have to have those moments with your kids. Yeah. Like, hey, you're getting ready to graduate from high school. Let's take a father-son trip. Man, let's go out into the woods. Let's camp. And let's talk about these 3 or 4 things. There's a lot of books out there. There's a lot of guides. But your son has to have a coming to manhood moment. For my son, it was, one of my mentors kind of led me through it. I was like, man, my son's getting ready to go off to college. What do I do? He's like, bring him over here. Let's anoint him and pray for him, But that was his moment. Yeah. Like, you're a man now, right? With the woman, right? With my daughter, one day, beautiful, Every man gets to walk his daughter down the aisle. Notice this. He's giving her away. He's literally saying, sir, I have taken care of this, and I'm presenting to you a gift that's going to walk with you. Don't break it. I've cared for this for so many years.
Yeah.
Man, that's the importance of a father. Is will your daughter let you walk her down the aisle and give her away? Well, you have to build her for that moment. Because many times she's going to either marry what you're not,
Yeah,
or what you modeled.